Caitlin Clark is everywhere. She's on billboards. She's the subject of heated debates. Her name's being chanted in sold-out arenas, dropped in rap lyrics, and debated on sports talk shows. Scroll through your feed and you'll see her draining logo threes like it's just warm-ups. Trash talking, chest bumping, owning the moment like she was born under the spotlight. But that version of Caitlin, that's the filtered one, the viral one. Because the real Caitlin Clark doesn't exist in highlight reels or tunnel fits. She's not built for flash, she's built for control, and the reason why? It has nothing to do with what you see on the court, and everything to do with what you don't see. The real Caitlin Clark was forged somewhere quieter, somewhere colder, somewhere way off camera. And once you understand where she comes from, how she was raised, and how she lives, you'll realize the Caitlin Clark the world celebrates is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's rewind. Caitlin Clark didn't grow up in a household that avoided pressure. She grew up in one that welcomed it like an old friend. Her dad, Brent Clark, was a multi-sport college athlete. Her older brother, Blake, played Division I football, and her younger brother, Colin, he was the unlucky crash test dummy for a girl who was addicted to winning. From the outside, it looked like a competitive family. Inside, it was a crucible. Every board game was war. Every gym session was a lesson. Every loss was unacceptable. She didn't just want to win, she needed to. "I got kicked out of PE for being too competitive," Caitlin once admitted, almost laughing. But it wasn't a joke, it was a warning. A glimpse of someone who couldn't, and wouldn't, turn it off. And then came the infamous snow day. Caitlin and her brothers were playing in the basement. No school, no pressure, just some casual one-on-one, until Caitlin lost a point. Her brother Colin scored. And in a flash of frustration, she grabbed him with both hands and launched him into a wall. His hand came back red. "Mom!" he called out, blood dripping down his fingers. It wasn't funny at the time, but now the family tells that story with the kind of laughter that only comes when you know exactly who Caitlin Clark was always destined to be. Relentless, unapologetic, built for the fire. And while most kids would have backed off, Caitlin kept pushing. She didn't just play with boys. She stayed with them longer than most girls ever dared. "I played with boys until 6th grade, she said. "If you want to be on the court, you've got to hold your own." And she did. Caitlin wasn't begging to be noticed. She wasn't seeking validation. She was seeking resistance. The tougher the opponent, the better she played. The more contact, the more focused she became. She wasn't intimidated by pressure, she craved it. In her world, pressure wasn't something to survive, it was something you earned. And the only way to prove you were ready for it, take the hit, get up, and ask for the ball again. Most players watch film because their coach told them to. Caitlin Clark watches because she can't not. She rewinds clips obsessively, tracks angles, freezes frames, studies rotations like she's solving a crime scene. While her peers are unwinding, she's re-watching pick-and-roll sets at 0.5 speed, just to understand why a pass worked, why a lane opened, and how to break it again. To her, film isn't homework, it's instinct. She's studied the game since childhood, not just stars but systems. Lindsay Whalen, Sue Bird, Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, then Steve Nash, Chris Paul, the way they passed, the way they controlled pace without even scoring. She wasn't watching for flash, she was studying function. Even now, years later, she's still learning from legends, not their highlights but their habits. Her understanding of space, tempo, and timing didn't happen overnight. It came from watching, failing, fixing. She doesn't rely on reaction time. She's already solved the problem. That's what makes her scary. Not the range, the recall. And while the world gets distracted by logo threes, Caitlin's brain is already 2 possessions ahead. On the surface, Caitlin Clark looks like your typical superstar. Nike deals, sold-out games, wall-to-wall coverage. But step behind the curtain and the noise fades fast. She's not out partying after games. She's cooking broccoli beef. She's not calling her stylist, she's measuring flour. No cameras, no filters. Just a girl and her brownies. Her version of recovery isn't flashy. It's slow, quiet, intentional, puzzles, walks, cooking, TV shows that help her unwind, not trend. She doesn't chase chaos, she engineers calm. Because the more stable her life is off the court, the more surgical she becomes on it. She's not designing a lifestyle for followers, she's building a routine that lasts. While others seek escape, Caitlin finds structure. While others want distraction, she wants discipline. And in a world where every athlete wants to be heard, Caitlin Clark would rather just get better. Some leaders scream, some inspire with speeches. Caitlin leads with clarity. When she was sidelined with injury, she didn't vanish. She became the most impactful voice in the locker room, not by yelling, but by seeing. She called out defensive switches mid-game, corrected offensive timing at halftime, gave teammates adjustments they didn't even realize they needed. She wasn't on the floor, but she was still running the offense. That's why coaches trust her. That's why teammates follow. Her leadership isn't about ego, it's about execution. She doesn't raise her voice, she raises the standard. From day one in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark had a target on her back. Late screens, cheap shots, elbows, trash talk. Opponents weren't just playing basketball, they were playing against a headline, and through it all, she smiled, got up, hit the shot. Because for Caitlin, the chaos isn't a threat, it's confirmation. She's not rattled, she's energized. You elbow her, she hits from 30 feet. You trash talk her, she dimes you up. She doesn't clap back, she keeps score. And while social media debates spin out of control, Caitlin just points to the box score and walks off the court. That's not fragility, that's focus. Caitlin Clark is one of the most famous athletes in America, but she's probably the least interested in being famous. She doesn't announce every move, she sends quiet DMs. She doesn't chase media, she cooks dinner. When Iowa football star Cooper DeJean won the Super Bowl, she didn't make a post, she just texted him privately. Proud of you, congrats. No clout, no attention, just a real one checking in. While others build brands, Caitlin Clark builds habits, and the more attention she gets, the more grounded she becomes. Fame is loud, Caitlin Clark isn't. Before Caitlin, WNBA tickets were easy to get. Now they sell out in hours. Before Caitlin, merch sat on shelves. Now jerseys fly like it's playoff season. She's not the whole story. She's the spark. The one who made it impossible to ignore the league. The one who made dads buy tickets and daughters believe. And sure, some critics say she didn't build this, but she's not here to take credit, she's here to work. And in doing that, she's done more than any PR team ever could. She brought new eyes, new fans, new respect. Everywhere you look, Caitlin Clark is there. But she didn't get there by accident. She spent years in silence. Reps when no one was watching, film when no one cared, workouts when everyone else left. She didn't brand herself, she built herself. Now, while others go viral, Caitlin Clark goes to work. She doesn't want to be everywhere, she wants to be great. And that greatness, it's not made under the lights, it's made in sweatpants, with garlic in the pan, and her phone on silent. They told you she was just a shooter, they showed you logo threes and swagger. But that's only the surface, because Caitlin Clark's story, it's not about fame, it's not about flash, it's about focus. She didn't rise by accident, she built it, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. She's not here for the attention, she's here for the challenge. And that's what makes her unstoppable. Because Caitlin Clark's lifestyle, it's not built to be seen, it's built to last.